Exiles TV, and we're so glad to get another week cranked up here, although we have not the greatest of news with another hurricane that seems to be taking aim at Louisiana shores once again. I'm getting tired of talking about these things. Bill, how about you?
Yeah, it's this season will go down in the record books. Of course, it goes with the whole 2020 thing. Hey, I like the purple tie.
Thank you very much.
You wearing that because the Tigers were triumphant on Saturday?
No, I'm wearing this. This is my political statement. I am neither red nor blue.
So you're a hybrid.
I am an independent voter.
You're Penurple.
I'm a little bit of both. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll.
But that is genuine purple, okay? That's not violet. That's not one of the other permutations. That is LSU purple.
I worried about this, though, with this shirt, because the shirt is pale, pale, pale violet. And
no, it's perfect.
Oh, okay.
It's perfect.
Wife said it was okay, too. I always check with her before I leave the house. I don't know nothing.
It's perfect. It's a good combination.
Thank you.
You look like a right gent,
I actually had a matching pocket silk, but I didn't put it in.
Well.
I know.
Look at you, the whole new Kevin.
I am trying for spiff.
Spiff. So, somebody posted a picture on Facebook, and it started a dialogue that I didn't intend for it to start, but it's a picture from about 1975 of Edwin Edwards.
I saw that picture.
And
some other
Charlie Smith.
Yeah.
And they're all in these white or cream-colored suits
with lapels about that wide.
Oh God, yeah, and it's
cuffs that deep on the bottom of their pants.
Old images of Baton Rouge, and somebody said that I was mentioned in it. Apparently, they follow me, and so in the comments section I said, these men did not have mirrors at their homes. They went outside looking like that, and everybody had.
Hey, at the time that was stylish.
Well, that's where we're going. And there was a lady who apparently was a big fan of one of the gentlemen there back in the day, and she said they were very, very stylish for their time. And I couldn't resist. I said, no, not going to get on the stylish bus. Do you know why? They were fashionable for their time.
Style and fashion are not the same thing.
Fashion changes. Style is a constant.
Yeah, fashion and style are not. Wow.
You can take James Bond dressed, the subscription thing. You can take Sean Connery dressed as James Bond from Goldfinger, which was what, 1966?
See?
And in one of his suits, and you can put him into any corporate boardroom today, and he would look right at home because it's style, not fashion.
However, what mistake was made with James Bond when they switched to Roger Moore?
Oh, yeah.
It became fashion, not style.
Yeah, Roger liked those 7,000% polyester suits with the great big lapels.
I mean, most of us wore them. I probably not you, though. You would have been, how old about that time? In your 20s?
Where, 78?
Yeah, the leisure suit age.
Oh, hell, I didn't have a leisure suit, never.
So you just never indulged in fashion as opposed to style.
Well, no, I got schooled when I was a much younger person.
See, I did the whole thing. I had plaid baggy pants with great big cuffs. I wore platform shoes. I had a leisure jacket. Never had a leisure suit, but I would wear the jacket. That was kind of a semi-military looking thing.
The closest,
as a matter of fact, Charlie Smith is wearing pretty much
what you had.
In that photo, Charlie Smith is wearing pretty much what I posed for in my senior picture.
Now see, what we had was we were schooled on how gentlemen should dress. And, back in the day, now you couldn't buy a suit without lapels this big.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't buy a dress shirt without
big collar.
They look like airplane wings. And the ties were very wide,
and they made knots about the size of your fist.
Oh, yeah. But I did not indulge in leisure suits or Nehru jackets or any of that stuff.
Well, good for you.
But about the closest I came is I had a very light blue suit, about the color of the river there.
Okay.
And I really liked it.
That's an Edwin Edwards suit.
It was kind of powder blue, and a couple of years passed, and I said, somebody at St. Vinnie de Paul is going to enjoy this. Now, I did blacks and grays and blues.
It's important to go through your closet from time to time and help the Salvation Army and yourself.
You know what I used to get? And it happens today every now and then, but what I used to get is if I ducked into a store or if I was waiting for somebody at a restaurant, there would always be a young woman that would come up to me and say, "Are you a lawyer?"
No, but I play one on
And I'd
TV.
say, "Well, what makes you think that?" She said, "Your suit." And I said, "In this town, lawyers don't wear suits this good, baby. And those that do don't come to this restaurant." But yeah, I do like your tie.
Thank you. I
and
appreciate
your shirt
that.
combo.
I am not excited about the prospects for Tropical Storm Zeta, which could be Hurricane Zeta by the time it makes landfall sometime Wednesday afternoon. We're going to take a quick break. We'll talk a little bit more about, I think this is the 5th named storm to hit Louisiana so far this year.
Yes.
We'll talk about it in just moments as we return with Exiles TV.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Yeah.
Dramatic, huh?
Dramatic. Dash Riprock, Super Anchor. All right. This is not going to be bad, but it could be bad.
It's not going to be bad, but it could be bad. Remember, he said that.
New Orleans.
Could be bad for New Orleans. Could be bad for maybe the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Maybe even Gulf Shores, Alabama. Tropical Storm Zeta, they're expecting it to make that big turn to the northeast sometime after it crosses the Yucatan Peninsula.
Or, as they said this morning on one of the news channels, the Yucatan.
The Yucatan Peninsula. Expected to be a Category 1 storm as it moves across the Gulf. They think, though, that by Wednesday afternoon, it'll be a weak Category 1 storm. There are forces out there trying to tear away at it.
Forces of evil.
Shear and things like that, wind shear and things like that.
Now,
but they still think that it will be able to withstand most of that and be intact as a weak hurricane when it makes landfall.
Now, here's something of import. The National Hurricane Center stresses this right now is what they call a low confidence forecast due to the poor organization and erratic current movement at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Central Time, and also because long-range models are not in good agreement on the overall intensity and projected path prior to landfall.
And if you've seen the spaghetti models, they're all over the place.
So this means, everybody do it with me. Yeah, we don't know. Something's going to happen. Could happen here, could happen there. We don't know.
Remember Hurricane Barry, 2019? Might be like that. Mm-hmm. Got a little misty in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, you're the first, you're the last, my everything.
Oh, goodness me. So we really just don't know what to expect, but we should know something by, I'd say by this time tomorrow tomorrow afternoon we'll have a much better idea of what this thing's going to do with us.
Yeah.
It's moving quickly though. It was stationary, but now it's picked up some speed and it's starting to move.
Mm-hmm. So for our area right now, if what they're forecasting remains the same, we'll have a couple inches of rain, which is manageable. We will have a wind threat of on a 1 to 5 scale, limited power outages, that means. Surging, coastal flooding, 3 out of 5, however. This is with the low confidence forecast they have today. So we're just going to have to wait. Mm-hmm. Like everything else in 2020, we're just going to have to wait.
You have no choice. So some other headlines of interest, and I just love this one. This is from Channel 9's website. U.S. to get 9th justice with Dems powerless to block Barrett. Despite their best efforts.
I like old Amy. She has a look to her of calm intelligence.
Serenity.
Yeah, she does seem very, very zen for a Catholic.
I'll tell you when she won me over was during the confirmation hearings when she showed that she had a pad in front of her, but she had absolutely zero notes.
And
she was answering all those questions, both the legitimate questions with the hostile questions, and she was doing it from the top of her mind, which I think is a very keen mind indeed.
I also like that she quoted Justice Ginsburg, who was very wise when she said it.
Yeah.
And Amy Coney Barrett was very wise to say it. I am not going to speculate on how I would decide on a case until it is in front of me and I'm in official capacity, period. I'm not going to give you an opinion. I'm not going to evaluate it. So good on her. But did you hear about this lady, little old lady, lives by herself. She went to the bank. I think her son-in-law took her because she felt like she needed a little cash and wanted to withdraw some money from her account. Now, she's retired and she gets Social Security and that's about it, but apparently she'd been a very good saver throughout her life. Mm-hmm. So she walks into the bank and she goes to the teller window and says, I'd like to get $100 out of my account. And the clerk says, well, you have to use the ATM machine for that. And the lady said, listen, I've been banking with you all for years. I'm a customer. I just want to get $100 out of my account. Here's my account number. Mm-hmm. And apparently the woman got kind of snotty with her. So she said, well, how much money do I have in my account? If there's, I think the woman said there was like a minimum to get a teller to do it of like $500.
Really?
Yeah. So she said, how much money do I have in my account? And the teller looked, and the teller's eyes got real, real wide, and she had $300,000 in her account. And she said, well, I'll tell you what. How about I just take all of it today?
Uh-huh.
And the teller says, well, we don't have $300,000 in cash.
What?
Yeah, and probably don't these days at a branch bank. So she says, how much can I get? She said, I can give you $3,000. And the lady says, great, give me $3,000. So the teller, realizing now she's probably in some deep caca, counts out $3,100 bills for this nice little old lady. Mm-hmm. The lady takes one off the top, puts it in her purse, and says, put the rest of it back in my account. And don't ever mess with me again.
Good Lord.
It's like the things you have to go through.
Well, and it's because, well, that's our procedure now, Mr. Perfida, and you just have to understand, we need you to follow our procedure. No, you need to wait on your customer.
Well, and there also used to be procedures for customers that quite frankly were financially inefficient for the bank to handle. But there were never procedures for good, regular customers of the bank. And there's certainly no procedures requiring that this little lady use an ATM when she's got $300K in a checking account that they are earning money on every single day.
See, that teller's lucky that the woman did not yank her entire account and move it to another bank.
Mm-hmm.
One
Well,
more
she
thing.
did say she would take all of it. And when the teller said we don't have $300,000 in cash in the bank,
One more bit of news before we go to commercial. What did you think of the story about the man who got mugged in the restroom at Tiger Stadium?
well, they don't know much. I saw the picture. He had a big old knot on his head.
He got pretty badly beaten. I mean, they drew blood from him pretty badly. Apparently, someone who was posing as some kind of janitorial staff. The guy said he walked in to use the restroom. He had stayed after the game because the Tiger Band always plays after the game. And it was his tradition to stay until they played their last song. So he stayed till after the game, went to the men's room. He said there were 3 or 4 other guys in there. They were on the way out, so that left just him and someone who was apparently mopping the floor. And next thing you know, he's standing there doing his business, and boom, he's getting punched in the head. Tried to block the punches, but he wasn't able to. They took his wallet and left him. He's lucky. He's an elderly gentleman. He's lucky they didn't do serious damage.
Now, are you going to tell me that LSU Tiger Stadium, which is supposed to be a very secure location, are you going to tell me that they do not have cameras outside of all these restrooms so they can see who comes and goes?
Yeah, I guess the law says you can't put a camera in a restroom.
Well, you can't have it in the restroom.
Well, in a common area, I would think it would be all right, just not inside a stall.
Well, and everybody that works at those games, including janitorial and staff, has to wear a great big old lanyard ID. So if you see somebody walking around with a broom or a mop and they don't have a big old ID,
Yep.
somebody really dropped the ball on this one.
The man's injuries were diagnosed as minor, and he is expected to recover completely. Meanwhile, LSU police, as well as other police agencies, if you know anything, they would love you to drop dime.
Call Crime Stoppers, 344-STOP. Does this guy, because the story I saw was very, very sparse. It was yesterday's story. Does this man feel he could identify his attacker, or it completely blindsided him?
He said he didn't get a good look at the guy beforehand because he just thought it's just the guy that's mopping the place. But apparently the guy locked the door after the other gentleman left, leaving him alone in the bathroom with the victim, and then boom, blindsided him.
That should never happen at Tiger Stadium. I mean, geez, they got security on every stairwell.
Well, apparently they don't have security at every restroom.
Well, how'd the guy get in to the stadium as a whole? How'd he get in?
Very good question. But apparently he was posing as an employee.
But see,
or even worse, he was an employee.
Well, he must have been an employee because they access control even their employees. Have you been to Tiger Stadium in the last couple of years?
No.
They access control. They even access control the police that are working extra duty there. They allegedly know everybody who is in there, on the field, off the field, in the stands, in the booth, everybody.
Someone in the comment section of this news story says, how is it possible to lock the restroom door from the inside? And I agree. So why would the restroom door have a deadbolt? Now, I can see the stall having a privacy bolt, but I can't see the restroom door having a deadbolt.
I think you could have key and bolt if, for example, it was really messy and you wanted to keep people out of there. If somebody threw up or something, I can see where your janitorial crew could go in
not go in there
and bolt it.
All right.
I can see that. But that this is such a damn mystery really bothers me.
All right, well, it's time for another break. Let's do that right now. Take care of some business. And when we come back, we got a lot to talk about, including how you can ride a bike for a good cause. That's coming up on Exiles TV.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Bugg Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Bugg Show. The only thing missing is you.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Right now, during the Team Honda Upgrade event, get a new 20 Accord Sport for just $309 a month with no money down, no first payment, and no security deposit. It's time to upgrade to your new Honda at Louisiana's #1 new car dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hey, welcome back. It's Exiles TV. Bill Profito over there. I'm Kevin Gallagher. In the center, Lieutenant Craig Russell. We're going to talk to him about a great bike riding event for a great cause. But first, are you tired of hearing the legislature whine about their fiscal cliffs every couple of years? Almost every year. Oh, we got a fiscal cliff coming up. We're running out of money. That's because they do not have a stable budget process. So we're asking you to consider a yes vote on Amendment number 4, which will help stabilize the budget. And with a stable budget process, we can have more economic growth.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed we can.
So if you'd like more information, vote yes on 4. And if you'd like to know what it is you're voting yes on, you can get the whole thing broken down at pelicanaction.org. pelicanaction.org, paid for by Pelican Action. Vote yes on 4.
Now then, on to our program. The Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride is coming up. They had to postpone once because of Hurricane Delta.
Correct.
I'm hoping you're not going to have to postpone because of Hurricane Zeta. In the center seat here is Lieutenant Craig Russell with B.R.P.D, one of the organizers of the Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride. Let's give everybody some information about the ride as a general thing, if you don't mind.
Okay, the Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride is made up of first responders. This year we had participation from 4 different states, 14 different agencies came together to honor our fallen first responders across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And we call ourselves the Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride. And we want to remember our fallen and remind their families that people around this country have not forgotten. Each one of these communities is committed to that mission. So we try to come in and just say, hey, look, we know y'all remember, but the rest of the country remembers, and we are grateful and thankful for the service and the sacrifice of your loved one.
I'm looking at your sheet here. You've got from Orange Beach, Alabama, all the way through to Baton Rouge and everything in between, and you also have people that come a long way, like Louisville.
Yes, sir.
You've got firefighters from Louisville that are riding with you.
We had 2 firefighters from Kentucky. They're part of the Kentucky Brotherhood Ride. They wanted to show unity. They came down to assist us this year. We've got 3 coming back. We have some friends from Estero Fire out of Florida who's driving in. In the past, we've had assistance out of Carolina, Texas. But everybody comes together, and some of our riders that help organize this ride will go from Baton Rouge to Texas for the Texas Brotherhood Ride.
How many riders you got this year?
We kept it small because of COVID. Unsure of conditions, keeping all the standards that were put in place. This year we rode with 18. In the past we were 32, 34.
And how long is the ride?
This year's ride was scheduled for 5 days, 450 miles.
Wow.
Starting in Summerall, Mississippi, and making its way through Baton Rouge, ending in Mobile.
90 miles a day?
Thereabouts.
Give or take.
With some hills.
That's a lot of pedaling.
It is a lot of pedaling, but when you're out there pedaling, as our friend Josh reminded us on this ride, that pain and that hurt is temporary. And when you can look up and see the name of the fallen on the back of a rider in front of you, that gives you the motivation to continue on with their mission.
Well, we know that our good friend, the late Metro Councilman Buddy Amoroso, was an avid bike rider.
Yes. Yes,
and he started a lot of these rides for charitable organizations and for awareness. And I know you all do this in memory of him every single year.
Yes, there's a his wife started the Buddy Ride, and it was a huge success. This year, the Baton Rouge Bike Club has joined forces with the Buddy Ride, and also acknowledging us, and they're hosting a ride on the 31st of October, that morning at the Estruma. It's a new business in St. Gabriel, Estruma Brewery. So that will take place this Saturday coming up. Registration starts at 7 a.m.
What are the most commonly held misconceptions about bicycles as traffic?
Both from cyclists and from cars. Cyclists have the right to a roadway, and cyclists have to ride smart and be respectful of cars. Cars have to be respectful of everything, of cyclists. There's enough room in this country for everybody to get along, and that statement really crosses so many different topics. A lot of topics y'all cover here on this show, that everybody with a little patience, a little understanding, and a little bit of respect, cars and cyclists together can get along and share the roadway.
Well, it's not that difficult to, maybe you've got oncoming traffic on a 2-lane road or something. You just have to slow down for a moment till you get a clear space, and then if you have to cross that center line a little bit to give that cyclist 6 feet, right? You want to get at least 6 feet. It's not that big of an inconvenience to have to just slow down for a couple of moments, and then you can be about your way.
And as cyclists, we try to ride as close to the right side of the roadway. It's not always safe and practical, depending on the roadway designs. We have some pretty nice roads around here, but sometimes there's defects in the road. There's things in the road that causes you to ride over.
We still have a lot of roadways with no discernible shoulder, though. I mean, you have asphalt meets grass.
Yes.
And there's no shoulder to ride on. I think it would be better if we had some kind of a paved shoulder that the bikes could get to if they needed to, if traffic was coming.
Well, I live out where River Road is sometimes my best option to come to downtown. And I think we finally learned our lesson that there are bicyclists on River Road, and it's so much better this year than it was last year or the year before, where everybody is, as you put it, getting along and making room for one another. And I've noticed that the bicyclists are very circumspect about what's in front of them and what's behind them.
Yes.
They don't do this clumping up they're in single file.
Yes.
And I'm surprised at how quickly many of these men and women can go on a bicycle.
Yes, I see them ride off from me quite often.
Now, there is, I'm going to bring up a potential negative, and I'm not trying to besmirch you or any of the group of riders or anybody, but quite often bicyclists don't obey traffic law. You'll
Correct.
see, you come up on a stop sign, and the cars are all stopped, and the bike blows right through. Same thing with red lights sometimes. So how important is it that the cyclist...
As I said, when everybody getting along, it does require, as a bike has the right to the roadway, they are required to follow the rules of the roadway, and they should stop to make sure that it's safe for them to go through. If you have a car and a bike, you don't want to be in that encounter if you're a cyclist.
Yeah,
it's a busy intersection. Should you get off the bike and just walk it across?
I don't always get off the bike and walk it across, but I do try to establish eye contact. I do point, I do wave, I get nods from motorists, and then I know
Smart.
they see me and it's safe to cross. I also have the blinking lights on the front, the blinking lights on the rear, but what I've really taken advantage of during my training is the new portion of the levee that's paved from Far Park to the casino.
Oh yeah, you can speed run it.
Yeah, I have enjoyed that, and I've seen so many different people out there that represent our community out there taking advantage of that bike path on top of the levee. Joggers, rollerbladers, it's been refreshing to have that piece of roadway or levee top paved.
And not have to worry about interacting with
To speak
vehicles.
to what Kevin had said, I had something that really shook me up 5 days ago, and I will preface this by saying I've never seen an organized ride where you can tell it's members of a bike club and they're organizing act this way. Now I've seen individuals, and you can see that they don't have their bikes lit or anything like that, but I was actually at one of the busiest intersections in this city. I was at Blue Bonnet and Burbank, and there were the two left turn lanes here. I was in the next lane, and then there's another straight lane, and there is a right-hand lane. And the left turn signal had already gone back to red. I had the green, and I just started to accelerate, and all of a sudden, there was a bicycle about 9 inches from my front bumper. And I slammed on the brakes, and I saw the guy next to me yelling at this guy. This guy had come from the far right-hand turn lane, decided he wanted to make a left onto Burbank, and just shot across two of us that had the green light and then blew through the light. And that's the guy that's going to get a ticket. If there had been a deputy sitting there, he would have ticketed him, wouldn't he?
Very possible. At least had a conversation.
Yeah.
Such as with a motors to explain the laws and to be a better community member.
Yeah, I don't generally jackrabbit off of a light, particularly when I'm the first one at the light, but I'm ready to go when it turns green so I don't hold up people behind me. And I mean, it was tight. It scared me.
We're going to take another quick break, take care of a little bit of business, and when we come back, more with Lieutenant Craig Russell, and we're going to talk about this bike riding event, when it is and when you can watch out for it. That's coming up next on Exiles TV.
Now you...
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
By all standards, he is a champion for consumers. Because of Public Service Commissioner Eric Scrametta, Our utility rates are 35% less than the national average, the lowest in all of America. He saved ratepayers over $8 billion. Commissioner Scrametta brought us more reliable power plants and energy-efficient solar fields. Public Service Commissioner Eric Scrametta. Keep the commissioner who keeps our rates low.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Welcome back to Exiles TV on this Monday morning. So very glad to have you along with us as we talk about the Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride. It's all first responders, law enforcement, EMS, fire department from 3 different states that get together to honor fallen members of their ranks. Joining us is Lieutenant Craig Russell, who was with B.R.P.D. He is also one of the organizers of the Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride. You all, I know you do this because you love it and because it's meaningful.
Yes.
But you also raise money to help out some of these families. Tell us how that works and who you're honoring this year.
This year we're honoring 12 honorees. Deputy Chief Beasley from Summerall Volunteer Fire Department in Mississippi. Loretta Sykes, a firefighter up there. Patrolman James White from and Corporal Zachary Mook from Brookhaven Police Department. Deputy Sheriff Donald William Durr from Lincoln County, which is right there in Brookhaven. Mm-hmm. We came to Baton Rouge and we honored our very own Corporal Shane Toddy and our very own Lieutenant Stephen Whitstein from East Baton Rouge Sheriff's, the K-9 officer that we hear so much about. From there we went up to Franklinton and honored the first female firefighter killed in the line of duty. Firefighter Vonador, and we got to meet with her brother, who was the chief up there, and her family. It was just moving, and we left from there and we went to Mandeville PD, where we made some good friends and saw some of our friends from here in Baton Rouge. A strong connection with Captain Vincent Liberto Jr. And from there we went to Slidell. At Slidell we honored Jason Seals. Officer Jason Seals from Slidell PD, and that's when the hurricane forced us to shut down our ride because I have so many first responders involved in this. They had to get back to their communities with the equipment, their personnel to prep up for the storm. So we'll be putting it back together. The last portion of this ride, Gulfport to Mobile, on November 6th. In the meantime, we have our local ride on the 31st.
What can any of us do who want to support? I mean, I'm sure if someone watching this, they know they can't take part in the ride because there's a limited number of riders, but they may want to, make sure that y'all are well fed and stuff. Can somebody cut you a check? Or
yes, they can contact us through email, Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride at gmail.com, our Facebook page, or they can come out. Local people can come out this on the 31st whether they're a rider or not, come out to Estruma Brewery in St. Gabriel. Registration opens at 7 a.m. Proceeds from that ride is benefiting the Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride and the B.R.P.D Ride, two wonderful organizations. It's a great time out there. There's things to do if you don't ride for the family, outdoor games and things at the brewery. There's going to be food. It's just going to be a wonderful time, good location. So that's another way to help support both missions.
Let's talk about some of these folks. They all have a story. I think I know the story of Captain Liberto from Mandeville. He was shot down at a traffic light, wasn't he?
Yes, he was assisting one of his officers, not too far from retirement, but was still on the street doing what he does, and was assisting one of his officers in a vehicle pursuit when he gave his life.
We have two from Brookhaven. Was that in the same incident?
Yes, sir, unfortunately.
And that was gunfire as well, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. And then Miss Vonador, a retired nurse, still serving her community, was responding to a call. I don't remember her exact record, but for a volunteer fire department, if they ran 198 calls or 176 calls that year, she only missed one.
Wow.
And working for free to serve her community. And there was an accident with a water truck. She was bringing water out to assist the other trucks in fighting a fire.
But many of these folks, like I see the Summerall Volunteer Fire Department in Mississippi, again, two people there. Was that in the same incident, at the same fire?
Yes, sir. At a traffic collision.
Traffic collision.
They were out assisting at a traffic collision. Motors come through not paying attention to all the blinky lights and came through and struck both of them.
Wow.
You know, you worry about cops and traffic collisions. You know, you worry about a cop car or an SUV getting T-boned at an intersection by somebody who's not paying attention. You don't worry about fire apparatus. But fire apparatus will turn over if they're broadsided at high speed.
Mm-hmm. We worry about fire apparatus, and trust me, those first responders going out there with the fire department worry about it every day. It's a huge concern.
You don't want to get hit in a fire truck.
Right. They don't want to get hit in a fire truck, and it's a huge concern for them when they're out on the same scene, a crash on the interstate or wherever they may be. Their safety is always a concern, but sometimes bad things happen.
Yeah. Well, to all the people that you're honoring, their families, I would assume, are going to get some sort of assistance from the proceeds as well.
Yes, so this year has been a struggle, but it's been a struggle for everyone, 2020. But we're still raising money. 100% of the proceeds go to the families. We'll close out the books sometime before the end of the year, and once we finish out the books, we'll, in conjunction with the Louisiana FOP Foundation, which is our nonprofit arm, we will get checks and get those delivered to the families. A lot of these families have foundations, and they have started charitable benefits where they're continuing to give back to the community and the name and honor of their loved one.
Now, I know that you all do things throughout the year. It's not just this one ride, that you do things throughout the year. How bad has 2020 been in terms of your donations, your activities, and are you going to be able to ramp everything back up hopefully in 5 or 6 months when we get something that looks like normalcy again?
We're going to deal with the same way everybody else deals with it. And we've taken it in stride, and with these families, it's not always about the money. It's actually rarely about the money. It's about remembering their loved one and knowing that a group of people came together and rode through Summerall, Mississippi, and that we remembered their loved ones. And then when we stopped in Liberty, Mississippi, we were treated so great in a small community of Liberty. They opened their doors and they treated us so well there. So yes, our fundraising is down, but it's down for everybody. Some of our businesses that's been so supportive of us aren't in a position to do that.
Yeah.
They're emotionally in support of us, and we know that, and we're grateful for that. We're just hoping everybody survives 2020.
Well, any time that it makes the news that someone on foot or on a bicycle has been struck and killed by vehicular traffic, it makes my heart go thump. It's just a terrible thing. You're so outgunned out there in a traffic situation. by a 2,000, 3,000 pound automobile. And I don't know what more we can do to try to raise motorists' awareness that bicycles are out there. And there's a whole campaign to raise people's awareness of motorcycles, but at least motorcycles have got, a motor and speed going for them. Bicycles are just helpless. And I don't know what more we could do, but where can people go to find out more about supporting your agency? You got a website or Facebook page?
Facebook, Gulf Coast Brotherhood Ride on Facebook, and www.gulfcoastbrotherhoodride.com is our website.
And again, Estruma Brewing is brand new.
Yes, maybe open a week and a half.
Yeah, something like that. But they're you just go down Highway 30 and you hang a left on Bayou Paul Road if you're coming from Metro Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir. When the Baton Rouge Bike Club reached out to them, they said, yes, we want to start by supporting our community. And then they agreed to combine the Buddy Ride and do their fall ride and help us out at the same time. And I think it's going to be tremendous. We're hoping the storm is out of here.
Oh, we hope so.
Go ahead and register. It's looking good that the storm's out, and we can get a nice early morning Saturday bike ride. You'll still have time to get home with your kids and figure out a trick-or-treat option.
And to watch the game option.
Yes.
So again, if you want to go out and meet the riders, and maybe if you got an extra 10 spot in your jeans you'd like to contribute to the cause, or write a little check, they will be happy to take them. It's a brand new business, and I've been meaning to get out there because it's literally around the corner from me. But on Bayou Paul Road in St. Gabriel, I mean literally just over the Iberville East Baton Rouge Parish line. Take a left on Bayou Paul Road, and you'll be there, and you'll get to meet all these wonderful folks.
Yes, sir.
Well, we sure do thank you for being with us, and we thank you for what you do every day in your real job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And for what you do for all these folks. It makes my heart sad that there are so many fallen first responders literally in our immediate area. I consider Brookhaven to be our immediate area.
Yes, and we found some ties between Brookhaven and Liberty and Mississippi, and it keeps coming back to Baton Rouge.
Well, we've all got to do a whole lot better, that's for sure. But Lieutenant Craig Russell with B.R.P.D., thanks so much for being with us. We are going to continue in just a moment or two on Exiles TV, but first, a commercial message break, and then we'll be right back. Stick around.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr., and I am a general dentist at Fruget Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Right now, choose any new 20 Mazda and get 0% for 60 months, plus 90 days deferred payments during the Team Mazda upgrade event happening now at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. Before we wrap things up, I want to take a moment to talk about Amendment number 4. Now, on November 3rd, and those of you who have already early voted have seen this, there are a slew of constitutional amendments. But if you're really tired of hearing the fiscal cliff every time we talk about the state's budget, you can remedy that by voting yes for number 4. Amendment 4 guarantees budget stability, which will mean peace of mind and job growth in Louisiana. It requires no increase in spending department by department if the money isn't there. Sound good? We hope it does. So if you would, we ask you to vote yes on number 4 for budget stability. For more information, you can visit pelicanaction.org, and this message paid for by Pelican Action. So there you have it. Wouldn't it be nice to actually have some certainty in your budgeting process?
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be nice to not have to hear that same old song and dance over and over and over again?
Oh.
We got a fiscal cliff. I remember the one year we heard about fiscal cliff for 6 months, and as it turned out, when revenue estimating finally got down to how much money do we have, the fiscal cliff was more like a steep curb.
Well, what's the number they always come up with? 300 million?
Yeah, it's always
30
seems like
million?
It's somewhere between 300 million and $1 billion. Their shortfall.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And they find the money somewhere. Are they in the sofa cushions at the legislators' homes or what?
I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted to get you into this at all, Bill, but paying attention to the legislature in their closing minutes of the special legislative session, which ended Friday, they got enough signatures from the House on a petition telling the governor, you must stop your emergency health crisis. Now, depending on who you ask, that's the weight of law. The House of Representatives telling the governor, knock it off. The governor's response was, we don't run these sorts of things by committee, I'm in charge. And he basically said, without saying it in so many words, told the lawmakers to go pound sand.
Well, it's a very interesting thing because we do have certain rights that are relegated to each branch of government. And the executive branch, which is the governor, or in the federal case, the president, has the right to executive orders. Now, the legislative branch can write laws, but this isn't a law, it's a resolution. So what I think we really need, and I'm sure having LSU Law School and Southern Law School within stone's throw, I'm sure we've got somebody that teaches Louisiana constitutional law at one of these fine institutions that can give us an unbiased, by-the-book opinion.
I'm sorry, the one word you said there, unbiased. That's going to be difficult because a lot of people have an opinion, and sometimes, quite often, it's biased.
But you know what I've never noticed, and I've interviewed over the years many, many law professors from both Southern and LSU, and they tend to stick by what's on the page. I don't see a lot of bias in those men and women.
Yeah, now, the Attorney General says the petition is the word of law. But we also know that the Attorney General and the Governor do not see eye to eye.
Yes, and I don't want to accuse Jeff of bias, but Jeff is a politically elected official.
I think Jeff would also like to be the governor someday.
Well, you know who I'd like to have in here is John Kennedy, who before going to Washington was an adjunct professor of con law at the LSU Law School. I'd like to have Wendy Vitter, who taught con law at the Tulane Law School.
So the question is, can the governor just ignore this thing? It's only a 7-day order, but it's supposed to be 7 days from the day they give it to him. Then somebody else says, no, it's 7 days from the day he makes the proclamation that he's repealing.
See,
but what's to stop him from just throwing another one up in 7 days?
Well, see, if all these things are not that clear, that means that both sides are probably spitballing a little bit. I want to talk to somebody who's got chapter and verse of the Constitution in front of them, which says things like shall or must or not.
I have seen on social media both sides of this argument, posting copy and paste from the Constitution saying, see, the governor's right. No, see, the legislature's right.
Well, you know what that means. That means people are doing selective reading.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the passage that looks like it fits my idea.
The magic word seems to be whereas in these constitutional passages. Whereas has a meaning that I'm not quite sure I get a grasp on. But depending on who you ask, the health crisis and the lockdowns and the necessity to wear a mask is either over or it's not.
Well, I'm gonna find me a law professor from either Southern or LSU that teaches the young law students constitutional law and see what they have to say. Hopefully we'll have them on in the next day or two before we get a lot more things muddying up our waters.
You remember the old saying, trust in Allah, but tie up your camel?
There you go.
I'm going to say trust in the petition, but have a mask in your pocket just in case.
There you go. In the meantime, we thank you so much for being with us today. We hope you have a terrific day, and we will be back here tomorrow. Clarence Buggs, in just about 5 or 6 minutes, will take you all the way up to the noon hour, and I'm sure he's got a lot to entertain you. So stay well, be good, and we'll see you tomorrow.
God bless. Bye-bye.